I'm Kieran, your course manager here at Hills. At the moment, our fairways definitely could be better. And the seldom time that I do hit the fairway, I'm not always that impressed by our lie. We have a plan over the next 2 years to basically go from, call it rags to riches. We want you guys to tell all your friends that by June 2017, we're going to have great fairways. The total size of all the fairways at Hills is around 11 hectares. The grass is made up of bent grass and poa-annua. Underneath the surface, there should be 200 mil of a sand cap. I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of what that means. So over here on 18 tee shoot, we're doing a bit of construction for a new back tee. So when the fairways are built, it should be like how it is just now. The subgrade should be contoured out, and then there's a sand cap of 200 mil all the way over. So what happened when Hills fairways were constructed, they put the sand down, and instead of shaping out the contours, they shaped out the contours with the sand. So the 200 mil of sand, instead of it being all over, was put down like this, and to create the contour of the hill, the bulldozer would push it, so there'd be a lot of sand at the top and very little sand at the bottom. This meant, for us from now on, it makes growing grass very difficult. Here on hole number 8 is an example of how the fairways have been shaped out with sand. So at the top of the hill here, the sand has been pushed up to the top to create the feature. So underneath my feet is potentially a metre of sand. This creates problems for us. When we get dry weather, the water goes straight through and it's got nothing to hold on to. So it means this area essentially burns up a little bit and we lose grass coverage. The opposite of that is at the bottom of the hill. If we come down to the bottom, because the sand's been pushed to the top, there's now effectively no sand here. So this area becomes very soft and very wet. This area here is an example of one of the problem patches at Hills. This is quite a bad one and probably needs some drainage to fix it. There's various other patches around the golf course with varying degrees of difficulties. Some just need overseeding, some need fertilising to fix. When the fairways at Hills were constructed, they were designed to have surface drainage. This means when the rain comes out of the sky, it hits the slopes and runs to the well at the bottom. This works well in Florida. However, there's two fundamental flaws with it in Sweden. The weather is much wetter, so the ground isn't as firm and it doesn't get to the bottom of the drain. Also, when Hills was constructed, because of the varying depths of sand, the water again doesn't flow to the well at the bottom. I'll give you a demonstration. When the rain comes down, it basically sits in the spot and doesn't run to the bottom to the well. The long-term solution to these bad patches is to install better drainage. Here on hole number 3, you can see the work that we have completed through the winter. This is an example of fishbone drainage. We cut the drains and tie them into the existing wells. Underneath the turf, we install pipe, gravel and sand at the top and put the existing turf back. The water will now get into these areas quicker, down into the wells and off the golf course. We have identified all the areas that need this kind of work and we'll have it all finished by the start of the 2017 season. So the fairways here at Hills are built up of a certain amount of layers. Obviously underneath my feet we have a grass layer, below that there is a thatch layer, and below that again there's a sand capping layer. So we'll take a closer look. So if I take out a plug and pull out the soil profile, on here the thatch at the top should be roughly 25 mil for good conditions. For us, unfortunately, here at the moment we're a little bit too thick. We've got about 60 mil. As well as the thatch layer being too thick, it's also too dense. There's too much fibre in here. There's too many roots and shoots. So what will happen, it'll hold water, it'll promote disease, and the fairways will then become too soft. This year we plan to combine aerifying and top dressing the fairways to get a greater effect. Let's have a closer look at what this process is. So first of all, the tine will come along and make some holes in the ground. Behind that we'll bring our top dressing. Of the top dressing, 85% will probably just stay in the surface. This will support the grass plant and immediately make a firmer surface. The other 15% will actually go down the hole. This will break down the thatch immediately, make it less spongy and reduce the thatch layer considerably. Behind that, we'll drag it in, smooth it all out. We'll also fertilise the fairways around 4 times this year for better grass growth. During the 2014 season, we only aerified the fairways 1 time. The reason for this, we had a very slow machine, it was very tedious, cumbersome and broke down quite a lot. It would come down and make holes in the fairway like this. It would take about 2 weeks to do all the fairways. We've now invested in new machinery. This is a toe behind machinery. It'll come along and the tine will go in the ground like this and aerify all the fairways. To do all the fairways, it will now take only 3 days. We plan to aerify the fairways once a month through the growing season. So we're up here on hole number 12. I want to show you guys what a great fairway looks like. This fairway was only built last year. So the grass coverage is good, it is dense, it drains well, there's no bad patches, and the regrowth from the divots is really good. What we now want to do is try and mimic this fairway on every single fairway on hills. A summary of hills fairways is as follows. The grass coverage is not dense enough, it's also not strong enough. The surface is too soft and it lacks uniformity. We have some wet patches around the course and also the fairways don't drain well enough. In a couple of years we expect to have much better fairways at hill. We'll have eliminated all the patches by putting in adequate drainage. We will top dress and aerify more. This will make the fairways stronger, denser, less spongy. They'll be able to take wear much better. We're confident that increased maintenance on the fairways is going to bring us better quality. This will be gradual over the next 2 years, but I believe by 2017 we'll reach our vision of great fairways here at Hills.